Hello and welcome to another action-packed delve into the world of Gen X, exclusively on Extreme. On today's show we touch down at Makaha for the Quicksilver Masters. We meet the photographers behind London's Full Bleed exhibition and get up close and personal with the king of the 900, Tony Hawk. Still in its infancy, the 4th Quicksilver Masters World Championships was hosted at the historic break of Makaha on the west coast of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. We asked event director Phil Jarrett to explain the Masters.
Well, if you had to explain the concept of the Grand Masters to somebody like your grandmother who knows nothing about surfing, I think you would start by explaining that, 30, 40 years ago, there were a bunch of guys who dreamt of getting paid for doing what they love, and that happened to be surfing. And 30, 40 years later, it's possible to make $1 million out of this sport, and who we have to thank for that is this group of guys we now honour as the Grand Masters. They're the pioneers of professional surfing.
It's important in the evolution of the sport that we recognise the originals, that we recognise the fact, hey, they still surf. You don't, at 35, you don't hang up your boots and put your surfboard on the wall and never surf again. That doesn't happen. It's another world championship. It's part of the career path structure from juniors to WQS to WCT. Hey, there's life beyond the WCT into retirement, and the Masters provides that.
It's a great extension from pro surfing, and it is classified by the ASP as a world title, and I think a lot of people in the world misunderstand that. They think it's just a Masters event, but it is a world title, and from the quarterfinals on, these guys are really serious.
The older guys have taken this on very, very seriously, They have that steely look in their eye, and that's where I've come on board. They've demanded that, I be here and represent the full judging of the ASP. And
it's good for us all to get together and we all talk a little biz and talk a little market and, and then we go out and have some fun, but it's pretty serious. I mean, those first 2 days when it was 15 feet, that wasn't kid stuff, that was serious stuff out there. And, a few of us took a beating. Oh, if you had to be a batting man out here today, I think MR's, he's such a phenomenal competitor and he's just been meticulous in every heat he's been in today. And, I think he's going to be tough to beat. And Rabbit too, Rabbit's such a great competitor also. I got second last time, so I'm hot to make amends for that. But, Sean Thompson has come back in and is competing. Michael Hose on home surf. It's hard to pick. And in the young guns, I think, Elko just looks unbelievable. My God, he's won 2 in a row, and every heat he goes in, he just looks unstoppable.
The first year was very emotional for me to win. The second year was a statement, and this year it's just, I'm just surfing with myself, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
The competition was divided into 2 categories. Firstly, the Masters aged 35 to 44 and the Grand Masters 45 years and over. The finals came down to a rematch between ex-world champion Wayne "Rabbit" Bartholomew and 4 times world champion Mark Richards. While it was 2 times Masters champion Gary Elkerton and the big wave riding Californian Brad Gerlach in the Masters showdown. Rabbit dominated his final, adding yet another trophy to his collection, while Elkerton proved he's still on top of his game, claiming his 3rd Masters in a row.
The first time I won it in Lafayette, it was quite an emotional thing for me. The second time was for my family and my loved ones, and this time it's just to show to everybody that I'll give out my number and they still can't dial it properly. So I don't know what's going on, but that was the easiest Masters yet, and I was sick. So lucky I wasn't 100%, boys.
I came here to win 7 matches. There was 4 round robins and then quarter semi-final, which is 7. My ultimate goal was to go through undefeated. So, I achieved my goal. So that's really special for me, yeah.
I'm Richie Hopson, and I'm a skate photographer, and I put on an exhibition with Paul Bliss.
My name is Paul Bliss, and I put an exhibition on with Richie Hopson.
Well, so far, what's been happening is it's getting to that stage where the rest of the venue's open and we're just coming to the conclusion of getting things up, and we're running out of all the materials, and it's getting there. Yeah?
Something's burning. That's going to have to be unplugged.
So we were asked by Third Planet to do this exhibition, and they approached us the end of last year and asked us if we'd be interested in exhibiting some pictures, and it kind of escalated into us being given the gallery space to do with as we please. So we've done with it as we I like this one because he's got the same shoes as me.
Well, yesterday morning we had 10 images to go up on the wall, no means of putting them on the wall. I had nobody to put them on the wall, but fortunately a whole bunch of people showed up, and they happened to be carpenters or builders.
Double-sided taping. Blue Peter style.
So basically all our friends helped us. They dropped by, they thought they were going to have a sneak preview at the art, but they ended up having to put it on the walls basically. But we couldn't have done it without them.
This was in California. They have a stadium there where they run the Supercross, and this is in the car park before the race. This guy, I saw him, I liked his tracksuit. He had his sunglasses on his head. He flipped them down when he saw I wanted to take a picture. I took a snap, and that's it. He's nice, yeah.
We settled on this idea that our images are normally seen in magazines, and we thought it'd be nice to take them out of that context and have people see our work on a much larger scale. And I think to show aspects of those activities that magazines wouldn't normally run as well. You'll see there's a lot of shots of people not actually in the air, not doing tricks, but showing a little bit more of the lifestyle and behind the scenes of the bigger picture of what's going on, really. Why are you laughing? I like that one. It was sunny.
I think what's fundamentally different about these kind of sports to other sports is that both the photographer and the rider have an aesthetic appreciation of what it is they're doing. So there's a kind of a partnership which perhaps in other sports like football or motor racing doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's all about the headwear, really, isn't it? I can't take the piss out of my own photograph.
Best and worst things about being a photographer: overworked, underpaid, never sure where the next penny's coming from. You know, the art of photography is making a living out of it, and that's just about the way that it is.
The best and worst thing is the same thing, I think, is waiting for the film to come back and see if you got the picture. I've made an awful lot of friends. I've got some pictures and caught some moments that I really, really like, and I'm really, really pleased to look at. I've had a lot of fun along the way.
And
there's a hair under your lip.
and then that's about it.
Yeah, I really like this picture of Chet Childress. It reminds me of jazz. The opening night was, we were pleasantly surprised, I think, weren't we?
It's not very realistic, really, is it?
What are you talking about, dude? It's the best one here.
Everyone said they liked it, but they would do to us.
That's amazing. Phenomenal.
I've got a headache. Opening night party. The funny thing about this exhibition is as well, we take it down tomorrow night and we put it up last night. It's not very long, is it, for all that effort?
No.
That's it for part one, but don't move a muscle, because coming up, we rejoin the Vans No Comforts tour, bring you wakeboard action from New Zealand X-Air, and meet the Birdman, Tony Hawk. Welcome back to Gen X. Coming up, we get some airtime with the world's best wakeboarders, chat with living legend Tony Hawk, but first we get back on the bus with the Vans team and their No Comforts tour.
The van is a glorious place where anything can happen. You know, it's a bit out the back, chuck stuff out there.
Case is just a nightmare. He's basically like the worst brother you ever had.
We're going to a ditch. It's in Milton Keynes and it's like on top of a reservoir. It starts off with no flat bottom into a quarter pipe and turns into a flat bank with a concrete lip on it.
You can't breathe, can you?
I can.
What do you think about the spot?
It's good. It's on fire.
You alright, dude?
Danny Wainwright pulls out of the tour due to an ankle injury, leaving the team to continue on to Liverpool without him. On the way, they find a concrete oddity just begging for a session.
Don't know where it come from. Some people say it was a bike rack at the police station, but no one knows. It's just like an oddity out of nothing, which is just amazing, and we can skate it, you know. No, it's been there for as long as anyone can remember.
Rampwork Skateboard Park. Action!
Go to demos and things and you skate, and as long as you carry on and you pull the trick in the end, that's what the kids remember.
Frank owns that trick. Frank owns it, and he wanted it back because it's his trick, but he couldn't find the receipt. He had to dig deep, look around. Eventually he found the receipt, got the trick back.
The X-Air Free Sport event in New Zealand started out as a way for organiser Mark Wright to get more wakeboarding into his schedule. It's grown into the Southern Hemisphere's largest action sports event, and needless to say, the wakeboarding is world class.
I think there's a better atmosphere over in New Zealand. Like, all the guys are really casual and just all about having fun and riding, and that's really what wakeboarding's all about.
guy you're competing against, when he wins, you're just as stoked for him as if you had won. It's all about just the sport. It's not about who wins and who loses. It's just about being cool and having fun.
This is another CWB rider, Mark Canning. Everyone's stoked to have him here. He's got killer right now. He's got a bum knee. That's just an excuse.
I guess it's the New Zealand people and just the atmosphere, the countryside. I mean, I love the mountain, love going over there surfing. There's, 100 different reasons, There's a KFC in Cambridge is pretty good, stuff like that.
Oh, we're sitting down here checking out the scenes with Team Schlong. What's up, lads? Kicking it. Everyone's getting pretty geared up for the event. So this is the general vibe down here. Grab a couch, get a tent, grab a few drinks, and just hang out and enjoy the wakeboarding. Standards really risen in New Zealand. Last year we come over here and the Red Bull kicker, that was the first thing to see of obstacles out here. Now you come out here, there's sliders and rails everywhere, and it just shows where wakeboarding's sort of headed. The new obstacles are what most of the guys have been working on now. The sliders just bring a new element to the sport, so there's so much more that you can really do out there.
American wakeboarder Robbie Struharick, ranked 4th in the world, was the first big name in the world wakeboarding circles to compete in X-Air. He took the title home in 2000. In 2001, an Aussie riding for Red Bull by the name of Josh Sanders took away Robbie's title. Josh stuck some huge tricks in front of a huge crowd to take the title back down under.
And last year I come over not expecting too much, and it was just huge. The crowd was right behind us, and it was a perfect day. And I got out there, and there was some really good riding, and I was just rode better on the day. I had a really good day, and I was just stoked. Went away with the win, had an awesome event.
X-Air 2002 stepped up the stakes with a bigger and better course, housing the treacherous ballistic slider. It also had more top international riders like USA legend from back in the day, Greg Nekrasson, one of the originators of the sport. But all eyes were on this man, Robbie Struharick. His challenge for the title showed why he was ranked 4th in the world in 2000. Robbie made the most of the ballistic slider with tricks like this 270 board slide 270 off, leaving a big job for reigning champion Josh Sanders to regain the title.
I tried to mix it up, hit some sliders, and also do some traditional wake tricks. No, overall the run went really well. Couldn't be more happy. The guys here organised it, set up the boat, the course, everything was perfect, and it was awesome to be out here riding in New Zealand.
Well done.
Bling bling.
Going back with.
How can it get any bigger or how can it get any better? But this year again, they seem to surprise me. More people out here checking it out. A really good vibe, and I think Mark's done a really good job for the Extreme Air here, and I'll be stoked to come back every year.
I always felt like there was a sports side to it, but also that it was very artistic, and it wasn't, you don't have to conform to this certain set of rules or a certain way of doing it. You could just go out and do it however you felt like it, and I like that aspect of it. I just felt like it was my way to express myself. I think I realized that when I graduated high school, because skating was starting to be successful during those years, and all of my classmates were trying to figure out where they're going to college, what they're going to do for a living, where they're going to live, and I realized I already had a living. I was already making good money, and I was traveling the world and skating, and so I realized, I guess I have a job. In the early 90s, it was hard to make a living as a pro skater, and I had started a family, you know, and I had a mortgage to pay, and it was getting to be like, what am I going to do? And I ended up starting a skateboard company, which may not have been the smartest thing, you know, may not have seemed like the smartest thing, but for us, it was all, you know, we wanted to stay in skateboarding. That's all I really wanted to do. And so, you know, we made it work little by little, and I was still out skating as much as I could, you know, doing exhibitions and things like that, and taking whatever opportunity came along. But I never thought, you know, I got to go do something else. Skating is so subjective. There's no clear-cut winner. There's no fastest skater. You know, there's no one who scored the most points. It's just a matter of flowing and expressing yourself. I guess I would liken it to ice skating. Who's to say who the best ice skater is? It's just a panel of judges, you know, and in skating it's the same. It's just a matter of personal opinion. Whoever you like best, that's who the best skater is. Many skate moves that have been invented through the years, when you take them for granted and you know that they're already possible, it's easier to get to that next step. You know, kids today are learning things in their first year of skating that weren't even invented until I had been skating 10 years. You know what I mean? But they already know it's possible, and so that's how the progression just keeps going. I think the biggest change in skateboarding has been the perception and the acceptance level of it in recent years. As far as just the activity goes, you know, it's gone through a lot of cycles, and now it's just sort of, there's all these different styles, but it's not so segregated as it has been in the past. I've been surfing almost as long as I've been skating, so I surf when I can and snowboard in the wintertime on occasion. That's about it, but mostly, you know, sports that are involving the same stance. Surfing's kind of getting into an era where they're really taking a lot from skateboarding because they're doing aerial maneuvers and they're learning how to spin and flip their board and things like that, and that's derived straight from skating. So it's ironic because skating started as an offshoot of surfing, and now it's come full circle. And lately, skaters are taking incentive from snowboarders because snowboarders are doing all these different types of flips and things, and people are starting to figure out how to do that on a skateboard. You know, especially a kid like Shaun White, who's pro in both. He's doing some spins that we've never seen before, and he's comfortable with it because he's already done it on the snow. The biggest challenge in my life is finding time at home with my family, because to be a pro skater and to be successful, you are required to travel. That's just part of the game. But it is hard, you know, that's the biggest challenge I face is maintaining a balance at home and a career. But I can't complain, you know, it's been fun.
I really never mean to let you down. Let you down. Let you down. Let you.
Sadly, everything good must come to an end, but until next time, we'll be scouring the globe to find you all the top stories from the world of Gen X. Make sure you're part of it.